The throne is in your hands. The future is in your care. You are raising more than children. You are raising those who will lead.
Power in their hands.
Hey, purpose in their hearts. Hey.
Influence in their voice.
Oh,
the throne is in your hands.
The throne is in your hands.
Raised with vision.
We'll build with intention.
The throne is in your hands.
Oh, 40 speakers. One assignment. 7 days of transformation. July 20th to 26th.
2026.
We are raising the next system of power, purpose, and influence. The Intentional Parent Annual Conference 2026. Registration is free. Bring your spouse. Bring your friends. Come understand the assignment. Raise the future. Be there. Be there!
The throne is in your hands.
The throne is in your hands. The throne is in your hands. The future is in your care. You are raising more than children. You are raising those who will lead.
Power in their hands.
Hey, purpose in their hearts. Hey.
Influence in their voice.
Oh,
The throne is in your hands.
the throne is in your hands.
Raised with vision.
We'll build with intention.
The throne is in your hands.
Oh, 40 speakers. One assignment. 7 days of transformation. July 20th to 26th.
2026.
We are raising the next system of power, purpose, and influence. The Intentional Parent Annual Conference 2026. Registration is free. Bring your spouse. Bring your friends. Come understand the assignment. Raise the future. Be there. Be there!
The throne is in your hands.
The throne is in your hands.
Okay, my name is Quantis QS Mrs. Adedoyin Adebayo. I'm a level 1 Yada in cohort 1Z. My parenting was just anyhow. We were on autopilot before I joined the yard. I was doing my thing, providing food and shelter and everything, and hoping that my kids will be able to pick up whatever they see, me do. I just believed that as I was living my life, they would also automatically fall in place. So that was my approach at the time. A struggle being structured, orderly, consistent. I didn't even know, because I'm a believer, in faith, I didn't know the direction to take my children to be able to understand the faith that I actually practice. So then I'll take them to Sunday school on Sundays and then buy whatever materials that I see, like a memory verse, just to help them catch up. But I knew that it was not enough. It was not structured. There was no structure in the house, and there was no connection. There was no real conversations happening between us. So I think we were just living, like that on autopilot. Okay, the funny thing is my joining Inner Circle was joining because of my children. So I came in because I wanted to be a better parent. I saw gaps in their academics. I saw gaps in their performance. I saw gaps in their, certain gaps I wanted to work on. That was the intention. But when I joined the yard, the tables turned around and the direction became, or the focus became me. And I truly needed, it was something I truly needed. I didn't know I needed. As I became a better person, I was able to carry my children in a better and clearer direction along with my, growth generally. So the shocker when I started, the first shocker or the hardest webinar for me was Honor as a Skill. And that webinar left me ruffled. I kept wondering and asking myself, where have I been that I didn't know, this? And it looked like quite a number of people that I knew had figured this thing out, because I could, recollect how they operated. And I was like, yes, I was obedient and compliant, but I didn't know it was a thing. So that narrative, that teaching, that particular webinar transformed the way I operate generally, transformed the way I relate, transformed the way I carry out my career, transformed my relationships, just made me changed my identity, because that's for like 4 or 5 days, I was still on that webinar reminiscing, thinking, oh my God, where have I been? I've been living in error. But from that moment, I took dressing, let me just put generally, and it became a very life-changing webinar for me. There are so many of them, but this was the beginning of my flipping or my entire transformation. So there's this passage in the Bible, in 2 Peter chapter 2 or chapter 1, verse 5 to 9, that says, add to your faith, add to diligence, self-control, knowledge, add to it, love, for brotherly love. I recently came across that passage and I just reflected back, and for the first time, I could say that I ticked these boxes as a work in progress, because a lot was changing about me. And the Inner Circle, is it self-control, is it calm parenting? Look, the trainings are a whole, they are a whole package. Every aspect of my life has been touched. We like to talk about capacity. So within the short time that I've been in the circle, which is even less than a year, my outputs in my career, the way I go about my job, I was thinking at the beginning of the year that I was at max. I cannot take on more clients. But as of today, I'm taking on more clients, no overwhelm. I am alone. I do not have a nanny. I have structure in my life. I have discipline. I'm reading books. My mind is my head is in a very calm place, at the moment. And sometimes when I attend meetings, as a consultant, and I make inputs, I see that there's a lot of impact. My contributions, it's coming across clearer. It's coming across more weighty. I'm generally becoming more productive. So I mean, a lot is transforming in my thinking, and I'm now an addict to learn. I'm now addicted to learning. I need to improve. I'm now in that space where I need to grow. There's no excuse for this. I'm on my feet almost all year round, just, moving things forward. Okay, first of all, thankfully, I have not been that parent that has been in so many other places, because like I said earlier on, I have really been on autopilot on my own, trying to see that automatically these things fall in place. So for me, Inner Circle was the first parenting system that I got in. Now in the yard, there are so many insights that come along. Somebody shares, oh, this is my own struggle, this is how I'm doing it, I remember stealing ideas, getting ideas on how to draw the structure for your daily routine, I remember getting ideas on, okay, my son is going through, this is how we handle the crush that he's having or stuff like that. I remember getting some of these ideas, people sharing knowledge and insights on how they are applying the things we are learning. And it just becomes like a light bulb moment. Oh, I can actually adopt this system in my own journey as is applicable. I remember other people sharing, oh, I have started doing, training my kids how to wash plates and how to cook and how to do that. And I'm like, oh, it's true. My children are of age, so I can actually begin to incorporate this thing in my journey. So being in that system alone is is an added advantage. It helps you to put yourself in check. Like, you get more insight on what to do in different scenarios because you find other people at that same process or in that same journey, in that same space with you, and you are able to just get answers to questions that you didn't even know you had, or questions you actually had, and other people's insights will help you, navigate that situation. So I cannot thank God enough. I really cannot thank God enough for Coach Wendy and her yieldedness to this call. For me, I identify her as an apostle of parenting in this time. Not once, not twice, not 3 times have I come on a call, and the very things that I'm reading in my devotion will be spoken about during the call. The last one being the Thursday webinar. The very scripture I read that morning, Coach Wendy shared it while teaching, which was for God 1,000 years is a day, and a day 1,000 years. And each time these things happen, I'm just like, God, I'm so grateful I'm in the right place and I'm aligned. And the level of alignment that she also has is one that one should really be thankful for. Her lifestyle, some of her experiences, what she shares with her children, is what is actually impacting on what I desire, for my own children. And it's also giving me a clue on how to, direct my own children. Exercising every day, my kids are here, I get to do my exercise. This is the first year that I would say, to a very large extent, I am quite consistent when it comes to this. And it's, sometimes when you do this exercising, the level of openness that your mind gets, your energy level, your self-awareness, your regulation throughout that day is on a higher level. And, because of her, I've been able to see that I'm more productive in the sense that I don't just do everything. I can manage my energy, I can manage my time. When I go to the office, I know what I'm doing. I pick out what I'm doing, just very short things, but very impactful. And I'm able to look at that and have a deep focus on my work and then finish up. And honestly, I always wonder how she does it, because at the level of service that she's serving the community, able to bring out materials like this. So sometimes when I say that, I don't have an excuse. If she's doing such and she has this kind of commitment, then in my own little way, I must give myself, to producing, a lot. So she has really challenged me to becoming productive and very disciplined in my becoming. I'm very grateful to you, Coach Wendy, if you get to see this. God bless you for all you do. We cannot thank you enough. We love you so much. We appreciate the sacrifices that you are making. And we believe that as you give and water, the Lord will water you more. And in any way that we can support you going forward, it will be our pleasure to do that. Even not just a webinar or buying courses, just, general support. There's this need. We will be more than willing to be of support to you. This is my appeal, or rather advice, to anyone who is still on the fence. Still on the fence, wondering, is it really true? Is it? No. Please come down from the fence and enter already. There's no better investment. There's nothing better you will do with the money that you have than to pay for the yard, because the first investment is the investment in yourself and in your mind. And whatever you put into yourself and in your mind will eventually yield you, multiple folds. So getting into the yard is a stimulator for your own personal development, and you will not regret it. I am just less than a year in the yard, and I can tell you for free that the difference is like day and night. So if you're still thinking of joining the yard, please do that already. Join us, and we'll be happy to have you. Thank you. And if you are not in the yard, why now? Why now?
Dear intentional parents across every continent, it is with great joy that I welcome you to the 9th annual conference of the Intentional Parents Academy. Tonight, before we begin, I want you to imagine something. Imagine that someone walked into your home carrying the throne of a king. Not the king himself, just the throne. The symbol of authority, the symbol of power, the symbol of influence, and the symbol of a nation's future. Would you leave it unattended? Would you toss it in a corner? Would you hand it over to strangers to shape? Of course not. You will guard it. You will protect it. You will study it. You will preserve it. Because everyone understands the value of a throne. Yet every day, millions of people are entrusted with something infinitely more valuable. A child. That is our challenge. Because thrones do not always look like thrones. Sometimes a throne looks like a stubborn teenager. Sometimes a throne looks like a toddler asking too many questions. Sometimes a throne looks like a child who is struggling to find their voice. Sometimes a throne even looks ordinary. But heaven sees children differently. Heaven sees destiny. Heaven sees generations. Heaven sees nations. Heaven sees tomorrow. That is why this year's theme is not merely a conference title. It is a divine awakening. The throne in your hands. Because the next government is at somebody's table. The next inventor is doing his homework somewhere. The next reformer is sitting in someone's living room right now. The next revivalist is sleeping in someone's house. The next history maker is calling someone mommy. The next nation builder is calling someone daddy. And whether they rise or fall will largely depend on the people entrusted with their formation. The Bible tells us of a little shepherd boy named David. While everyone saw a sheep, God saw a throne. While his family overlooked him, heaven had chosen him. While he stood in the fields, a kingdom was waiting. Because long before David sat on the throne sat in God's plan. What nobody understood was that Israel's future was hidden in a young boy. And isn't that the story of parenting? The future often arrives disguised. The throne often arrives in diapers. Destiny often arrives needing guidance. Greatness often arrives needing formation. And that is why we are here. 9 years ago, the Intentional Parents Academy began with a conviction that when parents change, generations change. What started as a spark became a movement. What started with a handful of people became a global community. What started as a conversation became transformation stories across continents. Over the years, we have seen marriages healed, families restored, parents rediscover purpose, children transform, and homes become places of intentionality. This year feels different because this year is not simply about parenting. This year is about stewardship. It is about recognizing that every child carries influence beyond our imagination. It is about understanding that the future is not waiting somewhere ahead. The future is already sitting at our tables. Over the next 7 days, we will learn. We will unlearn. We will be challenged. We will be stretched. We will receive wisdom from voices that have dedicated their lives to helping families thrive. But above all else, we will be reminded of one truth, that every child is a throne in formation. So, before we proceed, I want every parent watching from every nation around the globe to type these words below in the chat. I will not mismanage the throne in my hands. Go to the chat and type this. I will not mismanage the throne in my hand. Because one day, history will ask us a question. Not how busy we were, not how much money we made, not how many followers we gathered. History will ask, what did you do with the throne entrusted to you? May our answer be one that generations will celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, nation builders, legacy makers, welcome to the 9th annual conference of the Intentional Parents Academy with the theme, The Throne in Your Hands, raising the next system of power, purpose, and influence. My name is Ruth Ebuka Ede, popularly and globally known as the Queen of Boys, and I am your official MC at the Intentional Parents Academy. I am a boys coach and the co-founder at Boys Leadership Academy. The throne is here. The future is watching. Heaven is taking notes. Let the conference begin, because the next government is at your table.
And yes, the next government is right at your table. Boom, we are live. The grand finale, the session of all sessions. You have been here for countless transformative sessions. Welcome to the final day of the TIP Annual Conference 2026. If you have been here and you have been transformed so far, you have sat through, even if it is just one session, let us see your excitement in the comment section. I am the Microphone Empress, and with me co-moderating tonight is a Yada father and evidence of the system, Yada Titus Udum. Welcome, sir. We will be co-moderating this session, but just before we call our Mama Cathedral, we know how we do it in the yard. Red roses, fireworks, hot energy. Shoot them all in the comment section. Yada, Titus, one word from you as we prepare to bring the biggest, most transformational woman on planet Earth. Yes.
This is the grand finale. You cannot miss this. And so I'm seeing in the chat that Mama Cathedral is coming to give the final blessing. So you cannot afford to miss the final blessing. Gather your friends, call them anywhere, send the link to them, let them join, because we are going to get the very best coming now.
We are set to get the very, very best. Thank you very much, sir. And so with a rousing welcome, a round of applause, the hottest fireworks that you have, shoot them all in the comment section. Let us feel your Yada energy, your transformation wings, that excitement, that transformation you have received in the past 7 days. We are about to bring up the Mama Cathedral, the Indaboski of parenting, the one and only parenting bishop born and given to a generation like ours. We are ready and set to receive Coach Wendy Ologe.
Some people build businesses, some build institutions, a rare few build generations. Wendy Ologe is one of those rare leaders. Widely recognized as Africa's #1 parent coach and one of the continent's leading voices in parenting and family leadership, Wendy Ologe has dedicated her life to transforming families by transforming the people who lead them, the parents. For more than a decade, she has championed a movement that challenges conventional parenting and equips parents to intentionally raise children who become leaders of influence, builders of society, and people of purpose. Her philosophy is both simple and revolutionary. The family is the factory where the future of every nation is manufactured. She teaches that parenting is the highest form of leadership because the home is the first institution where character, values, purpose, and leadership are formed. Wendy is the founder and chief visionary officer of Intentional Parents Academy, one of Africa's largest parenting education platforms. Through books, conferences, coaching programs, digital learning platforms, and global speaking engagements, Wendy has inspired more than 1 million parents to move beyond survival parenting into intentional family leadership. At the heart of the Intentional Parents Academy is its distinctive Raising Kings framework, which equips parents to intentionally raise children who will become leaders, builders, and influential contributors to society. Its flagship Inner Circle program has transformed more than 10,000 families worldwide, while the Academy continues to impact parents across Africa, Europe, North America, Asia, and Australia. Wendy has emerged as one of the leading thinkers redefining parenting for the modern world. Her teachings uniquely combine leadership principles, emotional intelligence, neuroscience, child psychology, behavioral science, biblical wisdom, and practical parenting strategies. Rather than offering temporary parenting tips, she equips parents with lifelong frameworks that transform family culture from the inside out. As an internationally sought-after keynote speaker, Wendy has addressed audiences across churches, schools, leadership summits, corporations, government institutions, and global conferences. Her contribution to parenting education has earned international recognition. Wendy became the first African and first Nigerian to serve at the board of International Day of Calm, She also represented Africa at the Facebook Global Parenting Panel in California, where she joined global experts shaping conversations around parenting in the digital age. Her work has been featured on Fox, NBC, ABC, CBS, CBN, including Face of Aliyah Vanguard, Nigeria, and numerous international media platforms. She has also been recognized among the top 20 female coaches in the world by Divine Purpose magazine USA. One of Wendy's most distinctive gifts is her ability to uncover timeless leadership and parenting principles from scripture. Her audiences are consistently inspired by the fresh insight she brings to familiar Bible stories, revealing practical lessons that shape perspective on parenting, leadership, purpose, and family life. A prolific author, Wendy has written 33 best-selling books covering parenting, leadership, emotional intelligence, discipline, family culture, child development, and intentional living. Her books including The Parenting Reset, Parenting Lessons from the Bible, Connect to Correct, Discipline is an Emergency, From Yelling to Calm, Raising the Girl with Sense, and Raising the Boys Who Don't Need to Bail Out have sold well over 1 million copies and continue to influence families around the world. Beyond parenting, Wendy mentors women, entrepreneurs, and emerging leaders through transformational mentorship and leadership programs, helping individuals build purpose-driven lives, thriving businesses, and lasting influences. She also serves as Executive Director of Smart Office, providing strategic leadership in enterprise development, innovation, and business support. Before becoming a full-time parenting educator and entrepreneur, Wendy built an accomplished career spanning more than a decade in international development and corporate leadership, leading USAID-funded initiative and serving in Nigeria's banking sector. This diverse experience gives her a unique ability to combine strategic leadership with deep human development expertise. Wendy is married to Kunle Ologe, affectionately known as the Governor, a respected marriage coach and family leadership mentor. Together, they have built a thriving marriage of over 17 years and are proud parents of exceptional twins. Their family stands as a living example of intentional parenting principles they teach. Wendy Ologe is building far more than a parenting movement. She is pioneering a global family leadership movement. Her mission is to raise intentional parents who will in turn raise generations of ethical leaders, nation builders, kingdom ambassadors, and people of purpose. When the story of this generation is written, Wendy Ologe's greatest contribution will not simply be the parents she taught, but the generations they have transformed. Make welcome a voice of transformation and a pioneer of global family leadership movement, Wendy Ologe.
Wendy Ologe. A lot has been said. I was checking through the chat. They say Mama Cathedral, the Queen herself, the Kingmaker, my coach for life. So Wendy, you're here. Bring down the final blessings. We are here to receive. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. I am grateful. All right. Thank you so much, everybody's TIP Conference 2026. This will be the best conference so far. You agree with me that the Intentional Parents Academy Annual Conference 2026 has been the best. And you know that Bible scripture that says that a part of the just is like a shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. That is our story. 9 years down the line, we have had speakers who have done 9 years with us. People like Barrister Taiwo Akinlami, this will be his 9th time speaking. What a consistency. And shout out to the governor himself. My husband is here. And of course, you know that when it comes to this journey, there is a power behind me, right? That's the power we're powering. And you know, I think I'm going to do a lot of talking about this conference after my session. This conference has been so profound, from the speakers to the organizations, to the team, we have some people who are 1 month into the team and yet they are firing on every cylinder. You can't even imagine it. I am so blessed. Shout out to every single one of you who have made this conference a success. Because yes, it is a success already. But let's go quickly into my slide because I have a lot to say. So I'm going to be saying it and then we can now go on into all of the other conversations. the throne in your hands. The throne in your hands. Raising the next generation of power, purpose, and influence. You agree with me that this team came from no other than the Almighty God. I want to give glory to God for insight. You know, when I started parenting education, one of the things that I had a misgiving about was, how will I interpret the Bible the way I do to my audience and be able to actually get them to understand that this is the principle of life? And, you know, that's what I do. Being able to look at what God has said, translate it into livable principles, and make it work. And today, that will be my job. Shout out to all of you. And thank you so much to all the speakers who have spoken on this platform. There are some speakers that have spoken back to back. There are some permanent residents in the TIP Honor conference. And there were new speakers who came blazing with so much. And it's been tremendous and awesome. It's interesting to also know that we had, people, volunteers who are not in the forefront, who are not moderators, who gave it their all for this to happen. But let's have this conversation and we'll come back to these days. You are not raising a child. You are raising a ruler who doesn't know it yet. And if you understand this concept, it helps you to actually be in the space of the child that you're raising. Now, you have a ruler. Let's take, for instance, somebody tells you, a prophet comes to your home and tells you that your child is going to become the next president of Nigeria. The way you raise him, will he be different? Trust me, your answer is yes. If you are sure that your son or your daughter in the next 20 years will become the president of this nation, I kid you not, you will pay anything to actually raise him, because you have that understanding of who he is. Now, unfortunately, we do not do our all because we do not picture the child as a king. We do not picture the child as a ruler who already has a throne to get in. If you have that picture, you will do everything. We've been talking about inner circle. We've been saying, you need to enter inner circle. It's been like, we're trying to, push you and all of that. If you had this revelation, you will ask, what can I do? You will pay anything. You will pay anything to give that child the best, so that that child will be everything that the child wants to be. So it's easy for us to actually be here and, talk about these things like we can't see our children. The first question I want to ask you today is, do you see a ruler? Do you see a king? Because it is what you see, that's how you move. My husband was speaking at the 12th annual graduation in my children's school yesterday, and he said something very profound. The hall went agog. He said, immediately our son was born, we knew that he was going to be the head boy in school. We saw a ruler, we saw a leader, we saw a king. So when he was announced to become head boy, we were not in shock. The whole school was in shock. We were not. I read something in the Bible. Peter went and performed the miracle in Acts chapter 2 or 3 at the beautiful gate with other disciples. And then, the people were marveled. The Bible said, and I quote, Peter was not marveled. Do you know why Peter was not marveled? Something has happened. He's been with the Messiah for years. Peter knew that if I just raise my hand to actually speak it, it will happen. What do you see? It is what you see. That's how you are actually going to be able to sit to curate a process for that child. So our process for raising our children was a process of leadership. I wouldn't have had a child who would go through school without being a leader. It was impossible. Our 2 children are prefects in school. So it is not because it just came. It is because there was something we could see. You don't see it. See your own. Why are you angry that another person is seeing their own? Why are you angry when somebody says, I saw that my child is going to become this? Why not see and prophesy too? Do you know that there was no prophecy written on the head of Moses in the Bible. None. The Bible recorded that the mother saw that this was a goodly child. So what happened? She fought like her life depended on it because he did. So even when everybody was dying, Moses' mother said, I saw that this was a good and proper child. I wouldn't let this child die. I'm not going to let it happen. So she did everything within her power. And Moses lived. Do you know that if the other women whose children were killed saw that a child was actually a goodly child, they wouldn't have lost that child? You know, Pastor Tawa Kenami, who is my mentor, by the way, was saying something just as he finished this session. He said something very profound. He said, the strong man is bound. It's a strong man you need to bind. It is the parent that is in trouble, not the child. I say it again. Parenting is about you. See, I don't have time to parent a child is an ignorant statement. It's a statement of ignorant people. Only ignorant people say that. I don't have time to parent a child. If you understand who you have been given, then you won't say it. Matthew 28:18-20 said, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Therefore, go ye and make disciples of all nations. Then he transfers authority again. The Bible is a story of God entrusting influence to prepare people. How prepared are you? How prepared are you? Where are we headed? Every child will still sit on the throne. A sphere of influence. Whether you prepare them or not, that's the sad thing. I'm going to be talking about two thrones, the Saul and the David throne. Both were anointed to the same throne. One lost it quietly, one built it in secret. I'll be sharing with you what I call the throne framework and the kingship framework. A 6-part model for raising a child ready to reign. Ready to reign. Territory, heart, roots, observation, seasons, and exchange. Are you ready? I am going to be having practical tools to have this conversation. Every child you are raising is for a throne. The only question is who and what? Who and what is training them to sit on the throne? The question was never whether your child has power. No. It's who is training them to use it. Every child has power. Who is training the child to use the power? Who is training the child to use the power? That's the question that we need to, ask. Let's run through, a little bit again through the, paths, right? Now, children are being discipled by someone. I've heard a lot of people echoed everything we teach in the inner circle. 40 speakers echoing the same thing. You think it's a joke? You think God is not alive? God knows what he's doing. There is a curated system to raise a child who will thrive. Don't kid yourself. There is a curriculum to raising a child who will survive. There is a curriculum to raising kings. Kings are not raised like every other person. Commoners are raised anyhow. Kings are not raised anyhow. They're two different things. Kings are raised differently. There is a system. So when people say, parenting has no manual, it's for the commoners. When people say parenting has no, it's for the commoner. You are talking like the commoner. Kings don't speak like that. Do you know that when a child is born in a royal home, take for instance, the English royal system, for instance, that child gets a tutor immediately from birth. The tutor teaches the child how to sit, how to talk, what to say, how to interact, what to do, because they understand that at the palace, there are no errors. For you to access the throne, it's not an anyhow thing. No, you can't. So there are different people who are raising and, affecting this throne. Coach Ebuka said, the access to the throne is bloody. And it's true. Access to the throne is bloody. And we're talking about algorithm, peers, culture, but you know why I circled the you? You shape what belief is actually truly true. You, the parent. You shape what belief is actually truly true. It's not your children that shape it. So ask yourself, the things that my children are believing, how did I shape it? If your child believes that, I need to just dance outside, I'm sure that people that know inner circle parents understand. And that's what they believe. People come to me and say, my children, get into secular music, they dance all sorts of nonsense, wordings, music, and all of that. What do? I say the problem is you. Everything I teach points back to you. By Satawa Akinlami said it again and again. Every speaker on this platform has said it again and again. It points back to you. It is you, and it is true. Do you know when we make parenting errors, my husband and I, we sit down and we say, this is where we have gone wrong. We are going to sit back, review the things that we have done, and undo it. You see this culture of when something goes wrong, I call it Adamic parenting. You begin to look for who to blame. You blame the school, you blame the church, you blame the people in your environment. Who put them there? You shape what your children believe. That's what it is that you do. Who put them there? If the environment of your child is being affected, you are to be blamed. It is not the child, neither is the environment. No, you can't blame the environment. You are the problem. Do you know that the environment of your child should be curated? It should be curated. There's a curation of the environment. If you leave an environment carelessly, you are wrong. You are wrong. There is a way to the throne. There is access to the throne. So if you're worried, oh, my child is doing this one, oh, my child is doing that one, and all of that, go back to the blueprint. What happened at the base? The Bible said that if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The righteous can only go back and rebuild it. If you have gone far in error, just stop, go back to the foundation, dismantle it, and start again. That's the only way. There is no other way. So before you complain about the child, before you complain about who is discipling your child, think again. Somebody was asking me, and he said, oh, so I've come to your house severally. I don't hear your teenagers playing lewd music. I don't hear them playing what I call it urugudu. My children play music, right? But you ask them to play music, you hear music of Simon and Garfunkel in 1970 something. What do you think happened? They've been programmed to think it. They've been programmed. It's parenting is programming. Do you know that we have programmed our children with leadership so much so that when they get into a place, they're looking for who to serve? That's how you program. Let's move. A throne is simply a seat of influence. Every person occupies thrones, places where their words, their choices, their character set the terms for others. A child's throne might be in front of a classroom, a group of chat, a team, a younger sibling's eye that is watching. Our job as a parent is not to build a throne. There's no throne you're building. The throne is in your hands, like the song said. The throne is in your hands. It's already there. It already exists. Your job is to prepare the person who will be on the throne. Power, capacity to affect outcome. That's what power is. Purpose, the assignment behind the capacity. Influence, the reach of both over time. That's the meaning of this. That's the base of this conference. Capacity to affect outcome. What kind of power have you been able to give to your child as the throne taker or as the throne occupier? That throne is already in your hands. The person who will sit on it depends on you. Have you ever seen where throne is being, where, throne makers, king makers are coming together to talk about a king who is going to assume, office? Maybe the Yoruba culture, the Emir culture. Do you know there are people who are called kingmakers? Why do you think they are called kingmakers? Our framework in the Inner Circle program is raising kings, those who make kings, and those who sit at the table with the kings. You need to understand how to occupy these three spheres of life. So our job is to prepare that power, the capacity to affect outcomes. Do your children really believe that they can recreate their lives? Do you even believe it? Do you believe that you can re-author head coach Tracy? Fire on that. Say you can re-author your life. I tell people, my life 10 years ago was not this life. I re-authored and rewrote my life. I did. Oh, I did. I did. You have the power. It's in you. It's in you. When you are giving a child, God actually is believing and trusting you that you will make a king, the proper king, out of that child to sit on that throne. Let's go. Dominion. Dominion was always the design. From the very beginning, God's first assignment was dominion. In Genesis 1, verses 26 to 28, he said, let us make man in our own image and let them have dominion. There's something extraordinary about this thing. Before God gave Adam a garden, he gave him government. The first assignment given to humanity was not worship. The first assignment given to humanity was not worship. It was not marriage. It was not famine. It was dominion. You're raising governors, rulers, kings. Every child is called carrying a sphere that God expects them to steward. A throne simply means a place where your decisions affect others. Your child may never become a president, but someone will work under them. Someone will marry them. Someone will follow them. Someone will become like them. That is a throne. That is a throne. That is a throne. So it's always about dominion. When you read the Bible in Genesis, it said dominion over creation. There was dominion over creation. If you look at the story of Joseph, it was dominion over Egypt. Moses, dominion over a nation. Joshua, dominion over territories. David, dominion over Israel. Esther, dominion influence inside government. Daniel, influence inside Babylon. Nehemiah, influence through leadership. Jesus Christ, all authority has been given to me. And then he transferred that authority. You have dominion. Do you recognize it? Do you recognize it? Now, let me share with you what I call the king method. How kings are actually raised. How kings are actually raised. Now, let's look at Egyptian princesses were not raised. If you are raising, Egyptian princesses are raised in a royal nursery called what we call KAP, K-A-P. And, they raised them alongside the sons of conquered kings and foreign vassal rulers held at the Egyptian court. So think about it. The boy who will grow up to be a pharaoh was educated in the same room as the boy who might grow up to be his rivalry on a foreign land. So they learned military strategy together. So diplomacy wasn't a class. It was literally their friendship circle. That's how they grew up. They learned multiple languages because the empire requires it. Moses actually was fluent in all of those languages because he grew up in the palace. God is not stupid though. It's not this, he qualifies the qualified, he qualifies the unqualified. Rubbish. You will need to prepare to be qualified though. See, sometimes we actually, we want to hide behind some certain things. The Bible says that the scripture is for instruction, is for reproof, is for correction. So don't go and take something that should be corrected from the scripture and you make it a law. What are you talking about? They say it qualifies the unqualified. And the ones that were not qualified, that didn't go through the process, we saw what happened to them. When God saw that Moses was already on a wrong route, God called him back. 40 years of living in the palace, 40 years of being mentored by a father. 40 whole years. 40 whole years. Stop taking corrections as commandments. The Bible has corrections in it, and we must be very, very, distinct of it. So Egyptians don't wait for a prince to be taught diplomacy. They give him, a future ambassador, for instance, as roommates. Imagine that. I was reading about the Persia. They trained to serve before they were trained to command. So they teach the Persian noble education for boys from ages 5 to 20 as almost brutally simple. It's just all they do is riding, archery, and telling the truth. That's it. No calculus, no etiquette. The ability to move, the ability to strike, the ability to be believed. Did you hear me? The ability to move, the ability to strike, and the ability to be removed. And before any future king rules any province, they will serve under a governor of one. So there's a satrap observing how power was actually administered before he now gets handed over power. Jordan's monarchy still does the same thing today. Go and read it. Almost without realizing that it's ancient. No one commands before they are served. Is it Israel? David wasn't trained in the palace school. He was trained in the field with the sheep, alone with God. So he killed a lion and a bear years before Goliath even entered the story. But let's go. This is not just about ancient history. It is still happening right now. King Charles III of England didn't inherit the crown straight. You have to go to military in most of those systems. Why do you think they need to go to the military system? It's something we have never thought of before. The princess of Leonor of Spain currently is actually a current heir to the Spanish throne. She's a teenager. Right now, she's in the middle of a 3-year rotation through Spain's army, navy, and Air Force academies. It's the same path that her father, King Felipe, right, walked in 1980s. She will not be crowned until she has actually done all of this. No, she won't be crowned. King Abdullah II of Jordan spent 35 years in the military before he was ever crowned. Before you rise to the command of Jordan Special Forces, right, you actually will need to, there's a title in the army. So every single one of these things is real. I'm talking about real things. And remember that Princess Leonor of Spain is a girl, for your information. She's a teenager. Before you say, oh no, we're just talking about boys. No. The thrones are not for boys alone. The thrones are not for, the thrones is a throne. The throne is in your hand. The throne is a throne. Parents today prepare their children for exam. We went for, Shebi, this is the day of, the period of graduation. Girls are looking like they want to fly off the window. Boys are looking like they are going mad. We went for valedictory and we saw boys' earrings everywhere. It's like they are out of a shop, like boom. And I said, wow, these boys have parents. Girls are wearing the kind of long nails that you're wondering what's going on. Hair, different kind of, it's almost like we don't even understand what is going on. And then we now talk about prom. We're more interested in prom. We're not thinking of how our children are transitioning into something big. Do you know that era of transitioning from secondary school to university is one of the most, you must be guarded. Kings prepare their children for responsibility. I was reading something. I saw that many kingdoms, when it comes to royalty, they don't prepare their children to just pass exam. Every kingdom in history, real or scriptural, there's something, they've agreed one thing. Competence is proven under weight, not under a timer. Kings prepare their children for responsibility. Parents today prepare their children for exams. They are two different things. Your child can pass exams and fail in life. And I've seen it in recent times. We're having young children who went into school at a young age. Second year in university, they are not coping. I'm a parent coach. I hear a lot of stories. It will shock you how many I have in my hands. I have more than 30 children currently who have dropped out of second year university. They are looking for what to do. One of the parents said to me, oh, they want to go and beg the VC. I laughed. That's where we are today. Unprepared children. Unprepared. All inside the place. So parents are preparing their children for exams. Kings are preparing their children for responsibility. Every kingdom in history, real or scriptural, have had one thing that we forget. Competence is proven under weight, not under timer. An exam will end after 2 hours and tells you what a child has memorized. Remember, responsibility doesn't end. It tells you who who the child is. It tells you the weight the child is carrying. That's the truth. So they are not asking you, oh, did you pass a test on leadership? No. They handed him a special forces unit. Spain is squeezing Leona at the moment on a naval theory that is putting on the question for every parent in this room today is not, is my child ready for the next test? It's not, oh, my child is ready. Is my child ready for the next exam? Oh, university. Some of your children have come out of secondary school now. They have no business in university. Keep them at home. Let them be groomed. Let them be trained. If you miss it, the child will struggle for life. Think about it. Your brothers that you have been bailing out all your life, have you stopped bailing them? We're still bailing them till tomorrow. It doesn't stop. It doesn't end. Bail out a child today. You bail the child, especially a male child. You bail them out forever because responsibility is the hallmark of a child. And these things I'm telling you, you don't teach them in classrooms. There's a curriculum for it. There's a curriculum for it. We went for a passing out because my children are in a semi-military system. There's always a passing out parade. And somebody who came with us was asking us, so these children will sit under the sun for 3 hours. I laughed. I said, that's part of, these are the things you don't write in exams. In that school, when you are having exams, I mean, like, you have 3 papers in the evening, in the afternoon, you will do your parade practice in the morning. If you're not ready by morning, that means you're not ready at all. You do your parade, and they also have sound academics put together. Now, what do we see? Young men who can literally do nothing. What question should you be asking? You should be asking, what field am I sending them into before anyone is watching? So that when the crown finally lands on them, they've already been carrying the weights for years. What weight are your children carrying? Competence is proven under weight, not under a timer. And exams end in 2 hours, and that tells you what your child has memorized. Responsibility doesn't end, and it tells you who your child actually is. Who is your child? Let's move. The King method. How are kings trained? 4 letters. Spell it. That's it. King. Keep close. K. Raised beside champions, not in isolation. Beside champions. That's how they are raised. Who are the champions you're raising your children beside? You see all these? Oh, I'm just raising my children alone. I just don't want anybody. My children don't go downstairs. I hear parents say that. Ooh, kings are not raised beside just anybody. There are companions. They are not raised in isolation. They are actually raised with future rivalries. Why are you keeping your children in your house? Where do you get the people that your children are going to see eventually? So sorry about that. We had a little bit of a hitch. Now let's go back. I was saying, right, that it is my child being kept close enough to people unlike them, that empathy and diplomacy get built in before they even ever needed it. Or are we building our children with the mindset of, that kings are not raised in your bedroom. Your bedroom is too small to raise an impact maker. If you raise someone in your bedroom, that's where you have raised them. In that your 2-room, in that your 3-room apartment, they don't come downstairs, you destroy them. Oh, you heard me right. You cannot raise a king in isolation. No, you can't. You can't. You can't raise a king in isolation. So you must find the right environment for the king. Remember that the king is not raised in isolation does not also mean that the king is raised anywhere. There's no any honest here. Yeah, that's you there. There's no any honest here. You cannot also just say, you know what? They said that we are raising our children. They need to be kept close to the people that they are just, that you can't put them in one environment that will mess them. You will mess them up. There's a curriculum to this thing. I wish I have time to speak to you for 5 hours, but I don't. There's no one conference that's going to change your life. No one. You need to attend several. You need to read books. You need to continually to grow. Continually. Simply is my slide. Thank you. So you leave it. You know what? As we're watching our children, the boys, especially yesterday, our son was the guard commander. My friend's son was the parade commander. And he was handing over to my son, who is going to become the parade commander next year. And we're talking, and I said, some of the things that these children learn on this commanding field, you can't teach them with mouths. You must find that system that is curated to help you to get your child into the throne. Why is it that they do not teach the Princess of Spain right now and say, sit down, I will teach you the workings of the military? It doesn't work like that. She needs to be in the field. That's why David survived and Saul didn't. Number 2, while we wait for my slide. Number 2 is I in the field. That's the second part. Character is formed in obscurity before ever there is an audience. It was Auntie Tima that was talking about the seasons of life. Know when to come out. You don't come out every time. Know when to. David killed a lion, a bear, years before Goliath. There was no crowd, there was no reward, there was no witness except the sheep. Is your child in the time where the sheep are witnessing what they are doing? The throne was built in the pasture, not in the palace. What is my child becoming when no one, including me, is watching or applauding? So we are in this place where we just want applause. You even come to teachers and say they did not call my child. They did not include my child in that choreography. Just imagine. Maybe that's the season of your child being just learning. In the field. Character is formed in obscurity. Form it in obscurity. I was still telling my daughter yesterday night how when we're raising them and when we're doing some things, people will come to our house and say, you are suffering these children. You're suffering them. And I used to laugh. Suffering them, really? What you call my children will not suffer what I suffered. Oshe. Number 9, N. Abi, letter N. Non-negotiables. A short, relentless list, not a broad curriculum. If you do not have non-negotiables that you're willing to train your children on, you have not started parenting. In my home, there are things I don't have options. You know how you say option 1 of them? See, I told my children, I said, never be in the middle. The middle is where people die. There are some facts in life. If you find yourself sandwiched in the middle, you're dead. You can't be in the middle. So when you give your children options in things that have no business being optional, you actually sandwich them in the middle because they wouldn't know how to choose. Trust me. They would choose recklessly because they are children. And then they will choose at the other end. And then also choose at the other end because they want to please you. So they are here today. They are here tomorrow. They are in the middle. They're in the middle. Small things. When you are here, you can do it. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Hey, it's okay. Your child is in the middle. Sandwiched. Let me tell you a very typical story of being in the middle. So a parent reached out to me and said that, that the son's video was trending on TikTok. The son is not on TikTok. Doesn't have a smartphone. Doesn't get it. They have a media plan. I said, where did I miss it? I said, you missed it where you created an option. I said, so your son didn't understand A very simple, lay down. There are some things he didn't understand. So when the friend said, "Oh, can you just dance? It doesn't really matter. It's harmless," he danced. It's same thing. Same. So he was in the middle. And in that middle, he was thinking, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And truly, he didn't do. Some of you have your children. Your parenting is in the middle. Today, let's just allow them. Tomorrow, let's just not allow them. Everybody must not be in my home. There are non-negotiables. Ask yourself, have I named 2 or 3 non-negotiables I am actually willing to drill on? Am I hoping that when the character shows up, you start running kitty? But what we do in the inner circle is to get you to that point where you understand these non-negotiables. You're sitting, you're like, okay, this in my home, it does not exist. You see this thing of, the children can just try, it doesn't really matter in my home. My children are now allowed on social media until they can give something to their world. It is a non-negotiable. So being 18, I'm going to have them be 18. Then I'm going to have them be 18 in 2 years, less than 2 years. So looking forward to getting the phone. If you do not show workings that you can be on social media, because phone is not for social media anyway only. That you can give something to your world. You're not going there. It's a non-negotiable. You see the middle? The middle is where people die. I don't care what it is that's happening in your home. I am not interested. And what I'm sharing with you is not law. No. It's only I went to Ologe's principle. It's not law. Choose your own non-negotiable. Because we're a family that understand what we are called for. See, families are created for fulfillment of prophecies, not for fun. And if you understand what you are called for, you understand your non-negotiables. We're not an entertainment family. So my children are not going to be entertainers. They're not going to be footballers. And it is not a law. It is my family. But do you know what your family is called for? That's the question. It's not a law. It's in my family. So my child is not going to join a football academy. He's not going to rush for scholarship. He's not going to look for grants. It is not. It's a non-negotiable in my family. What are your non? Never be in the middle. Never be in the middle. You'll be struck out. Number G, giving the weight. Real responsibilities are handed over before a title. It's always a task. It's not a test. Stop testing your children. That's a I don't even understand. Stop testing your children. Hand them over a task. See them go through the task. Project it. Call them back. This task was not completed. This is what happened. Stop testing them. You tell a child that have not been anywhere. You say, "Oh, I'm testing my child." Somebody told me that, all this, I'm saying that children must not go to. Shebi, I said, your children, that anyone that went to JAMB and cannot go there, you failed in your preparatory test. You people came for my head. I still stand on it till tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about going. It's about responsibility and tasking. A parent told me, now when they get to the university, they will learn. You throw your child into the wolf to test them. You are actually being really mean. Honestly speaking. You don't want to test your child. Why do you want to test a child? Give them tasks. Stop testing them. Stop setting traps. They are not rats. It's only rats you set trap for. On a right trap. That's what you do. Children are not rats. Why are you setting traps? Give them tasks. Give them tasks. When you look at the Persian heads, you will see that they are giving proper tasks. When was the last time you gave your child a real task with a real consequence? If this thing fails, you are responsible for it. It's not a valuation of a grade. What grade did you make over the grade? Let me give you an example of a task. Anytime that we go to our children's school, in the past, we'll go to the church, students will be making noise, and all of that. So this year, they made our daughter secretary of FCS. They made our son assistant president of FCS, while being head boy as well. And we called them and we said, if we come to that school one more time and we're hearing noise everywhere, That's a task, that's a responsibility. You people must not fail on it. Guess what? We got to the school for the very first time. We had a peace and quiet you can never think of. There was consequence attached to it. Don't ask me. Get into the inner circle. We had a responsibility. They had a responsibility. Interestingly, our son ran to us after the whole event and said she wants to go to sick bay and go and take his drugs. I was like, are you on drugs? My guy was on malaria drugs. He was on his feet from the beginning to the end. Delivered, pulling boots, delivered to the end. Delivered to the end. Why can't your children have tax they have responsibility over and there is a consequence for it? Why are you shouting about that? Why did you watch play? I've said it before. Chore is a minimum entry level for raising any boy. Minimum entry level. If all you are focused on is chore for your son, wash plate, make bed, you're on the wrong road. Wrong road. When you finish, you marry somebody who cannot create system for a financial plan, who cannot do anything. You will now be stuck. We call it AKA a fulefu. And if you don't know what it is, ask Yadas in the comment section. Now let's go. You don't raise a king by testing what they know. I want you to listen to this. You don't raise a king by testing what they know. You raise a king by watching what they do when the weight is real. And no one is reading it. That's the bridge. That's the right line. That's the right line into parents preparing children for exams and parents preparing children for responsibility. The king method is the how. Is the how. That's what it is. Let's quickly move. Now, 2 thrones. I was studying the story of Saul and I was studying the story of David. 2 men, 1 throne, decade apart, 10 years, but anointed to lead Israel. And their stories run side by side. One is a warning, one is a blueprint. I want you to watch carefully. Saul was given the throne publicly in full view of the nation. Remember, Saul in 1 Samuel 10, the day Samuel gathered all the Israelites, right, publicly to announce their king. The Lord fell on Saul. They went to bring him forward. The Bible said he wasn't there. They had to inquire of the Lord again, and God told them exactly where to look for him. He was hiding among the baggage. Read that again. The man that was about to be introduced as king was found crushed among the baggage. I need you to listen. Saul's disobedience in chapter 13, it wasn't his first problem. It was a visible symbol of an invisible one that showed up 3 chapters before. So before he ever lost the throne publicly, he already lost confidence. There was something wrong with Saul. It was what I call the waiting room failure, the partial obedience, the jealousy of David. Why was Saul jealous of David? Let's go back. Saul lived for approval, which is exactly why chapters later, one song that was sung louder for David made him very jealous. I was reading about Saul's lineage. Saul is when you introduce him in 1 Samuel 9, 1-3. He says there was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, a man, and then the son Abi and the son Zeron and the son Abijah, that's the father. He said a mighty man of wealth. So Saul's lineage, right, is Kish, his father. He was wealthy, he was influential, right? He was described as a mighty man of wealth, or a man standing. That's what the translation calls it. Saul did not come from poverty or obscurity. No. But here is what happened. This is where the story gets interesting. Saul was a Benjamite. Saul belonged to a tribe of Benjamin, a tribe with a complicated history. You know that when a man is going to actually be affected, when the devil wants to fight a man in a generation, you look for patterns in the lineage. And if the patterns is not on you, you are not useful. Moses was angry because Moses was a Levite. The patterns came on Moses because Moses was important. That's the truth. That's why it took generations after to hit him. Saul, the pattern came on him because Saul was important. In Judges 19:21, a tribe of Benjamin nearly destroyed itself because of a horrific sin at Gibeah. Now, other tribes went to war against Benjamin. The result, some of them died. Almost the entire tribe was wiped out. Only 600 men made it out. So that tribe had to rebuild from scratch. So for generations, the Benjamites would have carried the memory of near extinction. So Saul himself came from Gibeah. That's the very city at the center of the national disgrace. And then the Bible never said it produced this insecurity. But listen to what the first time that Samuel told Saul he was going to become king. He said, am I not a Benjamite? Did that tell you something? Am I not a Benjamite from the smallest of the tribe of Israel? And is not my clan the least of all the clans of the tribes of Benjamin? 1 Samuel 9, verse 21. Notice the language. Notice the language. From the smallest tribe, from the least family, an unlikely candidate. All right? It's clearer. His pattern of insecurity. So throughout his reign, Saul repeatedly displayed insecurity. He did among the baggage. So the day they called him, Saul came. He was hiding inside baggage. He feared public opinion more than God's command. He became jealous of David after women sang for him. 1 Samuel 18, 7-9. He constantly sought validation through military victories and public approval. So he viewed another person's success as a threat to his own identity. This was a leader whose identity was fragile. Saul teaches us something very important. Your background may explain some of your struggles, but it does not excuse your choices. Your background may explain some of your struggles, but it does not excuse your choices, sir. It doesn't, sir. You see this thing of, a father will say, no, because of the way we're raised, they did not really raise me. I didn't really have a father. Sir, you didn't have a father. Learn. We agree that affected you. But your background may explain your struggles, which is okay. Don't stay on it. Stay on it is you actually, you can re-alter your life. That's what we're talking about. So Benjamin had a painful history. Saul may have grown up aware of that smallness and all of that, but God gave him every resource to succeed. It was time I came to me that said, this is the best time to raise a child. And I agree. Do you know, I was looking at my brother this morning, came over, trying to prepare the daughter to go to church. The daughter is 2 years old, 1 year plus. He was giving her a bath, dressing her, doing it with all joy. Our parents were frustrated parenting. Why? There were no resources. In that money, that child would have collected basketballs because the child was trying to run out of the bathroom and follow him. The child would have collected slap. And some of you are still there. And you are giving excuses. And that's how they raised us. We turned out. Who told you it turned out okay? What's okay about being so angry raising a child? One of the best things that can happen to you is to raise a child devoid of your trauma. Deal with it. God gave him all the resources, all to succeed. All. A clear prophetic word, a transformed heart, an empowering spirit. The Bible said that Saul was actually, prophesying among the prophets. How did he lose it? He gave him repeated opportunities to obey. His downfall ultimately did not really come from his lineage. He made a choice. He made a choice. It's very sobering. God can give you every opportunity to succeed, yet unresolved identity issues continually indulging can undermine your divine calling. And that's why you can see in a secular and say, hey, it's expensive, it's not. But when the chips are down, you're going to be here. My one-on-one session is 400,000 per hour. During this period, I'm doing one-on-one session. Can you believe it? I have more people coming to seek counsel. On it. Inner circle is 150,000. Have you 140,000? How much is it for a year? These people, when the chips are down, are ready to pay anything. Yet God has given you opportunities. I often say that we prefer the line of mercy. Oh God. Miracles are not things that you can actually control. Miracles are not principles. They are the prerogative of God. How do you stand on principles? How do you on miracles instead of principles? God decides who we have mercy on. Meanwhile, there's grace. Grace is here. We have where you can learn, what you can learn, how you can re-alter your life. You say, no, I'm going to do it with the things that I want to do. Or no, this. You give all manner of excuses. I don't have time to parent my children. And that's an ignorant statement. Very ignorant. Excuses are cheap. Those that make them are not wise. AKA, they are foolish. I'm telling you. And if you know me, I have zero tolerance to excuses. Zero, non-existence. And you can't be there. Oh, you can. Miracles, you can't depend on how God will do it. I know that God is all powerful, but God will not do for you what he has given you the ability to do as a man. That's what happened to Saul. And then there was David. David was still a boy, tending to sheep, built the throne quietly, and for years in the field. And that's how David grew. Now, this is what happened to Saul, the waiting room. There's something that we call the waiting room. Let's quickly run. The waiting room. Why couldn't Saul wait? Pressure doesn't create character. It exposes whatever was already there. Waiting is the one test that ruling cannot fake. It doesn't matter how you get to the top. If you don't understand it, you will fail at it. When an answer comes instantly, you only ever see what a person wants. When an answer is delayed, you finally see what the person actually believes. Saul's army was scattering. The Philistines were massing. The prophet was late. None of that was the real test. The real test was simpler and even worse. Did Saul actually believe God who had said he would? Even after the clock ran past comfortable, he didn't believe God. He believed the circumstances more than the word. Delay didn't create his unbelief, it reviewed it. Most of you are in the place where you believe so much with what the word system is telling you. Somebody asked me that why is it that I speak so boldly about my parenting? I said, because I know with exactitude where my children will end. I'm not faking it. I'm not asking you. I know. And I'm not even asking you to validate me. You know why I know? Because my Bible said that the end is the end. So I'll give you to see you at an expected end. My God is not a wicked God. There's an expected end. I was in school, my children's school yesterday, and somebody probably who follows me, there are a lot of people who came, there were like 3 parents who met me. The first one met me and said, I received your emails. She might be listening to this session. I received your emails. I didn't know that what you say is true. I watched your son today and I was in shock. Please give me your contact. I want to join ASECO. Because I used to say, these things that people say is a lie. He said, it's not even just about the performance of your children. I saw you in school one of those days. And I just dropped my daughter and I was going. And I saw you and your husband holding hands with the children and you were praying. She said, I just call my daughter back. Come back. We're not faking this thing. We're not seeing you to do it. What are you talking about? Doing it for my destiny. Is my destiny a joke to you? Is my life a joke to you? What are you saying? I said, oh, they are pretending. They are saying, pretending to you for what? I'm living my life and I'm living my best life for my children. My husband and I are curating a system to see the next generation do better than we have ever done. Another better parent met me and said, hey, I've been so scared. I didn't know you were in this school. My friend forced me into sex educate. And I was watching you, watching your son, watching your daughter, watching everything. I even saw your friends and their children. My God. Hey, I want to be nice again. I want to be. You are looking for proof. When you are looking for proof, we have left you. We've left you. I'm not doing 80% of the things we do, you don't see it. You can't see it. That's why we cannot share the things that we teach in the NASECO. Never. Can't share it in public because I even survive it. That's the truth. So we are fighting for our lives. I'm not an influencer. Neither am I a content creator. I'm called by God for a time like this. I know who I am. Called by God for a time like this. So you think I'm creating content for you? Child is crying, you come and you do video. All these people, they are lying to us. Who is lying to you? Ask time. Who are you in the question of things to be lied to? That's my point. That's my point. You get to a point where we are not even interested in proving anything. We're not here to prove anything to you. So if there's anything you see, according to Coach Ebuka, evidence chokest, we don't send you really. We don't see you they do harm. I sent a video to inner circle parent the other time. It was when my children were like about 3. We were doing something about the connection tools. I said, I've been doing connection tools before you came. I will do it after you're gone. It's not about you. It's not about you. I've moved. There's no time. Nobody has time to lie to you about anything. And I'm sure you're watching this. You're like, all these people that they called, about inner circle. Are you sure they're telling the truth? We don't have the time. People are focusing on their lives and actually to be able to put things together. You think we're creating content for you or we're trying to influence you? Have you ever seen me influencing anybody? I have no time to influence nothing. Have I finished influencing for myself? Am I influencer for myself by myself? I don't need anybody. I don't need to be influencing, dancing. No. That's not what we're here for. Anything you see us do, it is ultimately for the kingdom. If it doesn't align with the kingdom project, we're not doing it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Number 2, partial obedience. Partial obedience. Samuel's rebuke, loud, was harder. Once you see that Saul was actually he didn't refuse the instruction outright. He kept the best plunger. And he called it sacrifice. He used worship to justify disobedience. Some of you are like that. Some of you are like that. Some of you are like that. You just use worship, to justify it. That's the line. To obey is better than sacrifice. That's what the Bible said. Saul had religious language for the exact thing that God had told him to do. God has told you need to learn to raise this child. He said, train up a child in the way he should go. He said, Holy Ghost is my trainer. You lie. Holy Ghost. God does not raise children. God is not a raiser of a child. If God were going to raise any child, it would have been Jesus Christ, and yet he gave Jesus Christ to earthly parents. To earthly parents to raise. It's you that God will come down. If he was going to raise anybody, he would have helped David. He would have helped Samuel. He would have helped Eli. He would have helped the strong men of God that would have seen their children go astray. You can raise the dead and raise idiots. I've said it over and over again. And I said with everything in me, it is true. It is true. Anointing does not raise children. Anointing does not raise. So you want to quote scripture and concoct what God did not say. My children are taught of the Lord, and grace shall be their peace. Who is the teacher of the Lord? Is it God? Or you think that God will come down? Meanwhile, in Deuteronomy, he said, teach them in the morning, when you're sitting down, when you're walking, when you're standing, it is your job, sir, ma, it's your job. It's not God's job. Stop it. Stop it. God doesn't raise children. Holy Spirit is not your mentor either. Stop it. Find yourself in systems where you will learn. That's the truth of God's word. That's the truth of God's word. Find it. Somebody's trying to maneuver. A child does something. I asked the parent that the child was watching pornography. What did you do? He said, I put it in the hands of God. I prayed about it. What an irresponsible statement. My father in the Lord will say that any faith that holds God absolutely responsible is an irresponsible faith. That's Bishop David Oyedepo. He's irresponsible. You have a responsibility and you must take it in. You must take it in. You must take it in. You know the truth. We're not begging you to learn. No. You will pay today or you will pay tomorrow. Either way, you will pay. I know because I've seen it. Either way, you might be angry with me, right? I know that I ruffle a lot of people. Like, who the hell does she think I am? Who I say that I am? Who the hell does she think she is? I am the one called on this mountain in this generation at this time. Go and ask God if you have a relationship with him. This your daughter. Is she called? Ask. He will give you the answer. I can assure you. Can assure you. So all this, is either you do it today or you do it tomorrow. Either way, you will do it. You will do it. You will do it. You either do it with a scar, and you might do it when your parenting has scarred your child. There are some parenting scars that never come returns. The last one was the louder song. The louder song. Saul never lost to David. He lost to comparison. He lost to comparison. Comparison doesn't just wound. It reorganizes relationship around suspicion instead of trust. So he turned a king into a surveillance system, watching his own best soldier. Come on now. It is the same mechanism. Because whether it happens in a palace or in a living room, it's the same thing. Comparison destroys people. It destroys mentors. It destroys parents for identical reasons. It replaces I am for you with I am watching you. It replaces I am for you with I am watching you. That's the fastest way to destroy a child. Instead of you to focus on the child you have. I've said it before. Parent the child you have. Not the one you wish you have. Not the one you hope to have. Not the one you think you have. Not the one you pray to have. You heard it was Jennifer who talked about social needs child. She said, I came into the inner circle, I just focus. And I said, this child, that's my child. I'm going to focus on this child and deal with it. All these times I'm praying about it. That's not God. That's not God. Do you know sometimes prayer is something that we hide under to actually become irresponsible? Yes. Yes. Most times when you say you are praying, you should not be praying inside chaos. Hey, oh God, calm down. It doesn't happen like that. Yes, God is a systematic person. When you say, when you call on me, you would have had a relationship to him before you call on him. It's not just call on him like that. Let's go. Now, David's throne was built in the field. That throne was built in the field long before the crown character was built. All right, let's quickly move. How David got to the throne? How David got to the throne? From Bethlehem to the lion, to the prophet's oil, to Goliath, to the army, to Jerusalem, to the shepherd, to the bear, back to the sheep, the cave, Hebron, and the throne. Let me make it a little lighter. Two things jump out when you slow down and actually look at the staircase. See, the anointing didn't skip a single step. Someone poured oil on David's head. The prophet of God confirmed, right? Out loud, the boy would be king. The very next thing you see after that confirmation is right back to the sheep. After that confirmation, back to the pasture for years, even before Goliath entered. This is the most freeing sentence you will hear today. Telling a child you believe in their calling is not the same as clearing the steps between here and there. It was Anjetima that mentioned that during our session. Yes, I know your child has been called. Yes, I know your child is prophetic. Yes, I know your child is going to enter there. See what happened to Saul. Saul went directly on the throne. God corrected with David. God said, this one, I will send you back into the sheep pen, even though you've been anointed. Even though you've been anointed, I will send you back. Name the calling. It's okay. Then still make them tend the sheep. Name the calling. Still make them tend the sheep. Go back and go and use your hand. You know, my son is a very very talented. Talent don't speak at the throne. Is what you do. Talent is raw. It's processed talent that actually makes a man. I'm telling you. All of you that are talented in 10 things, what have you produced with it? Processed talent is what makes a man. Raw talent to not pay. It does not produce, right? It does not profit. That's the word. Raw talent doesn't profit you. It doesn't. When our son entered JSS1, he came and he said, oh, he was playing piano, he can play. They did not allow him. Entitled. You raise entitled children in the name of my child can. My child is, he has the calling. My child is talented. My son came and said, oh, we should go to the school. He can play the school organ. He was coming from primary school playing school organ. I said, okay, you want to just come, enter the throne like that. I said, you know the way to the throne? He said, no. I said, serve. Go to the person who's playing the piano at the moment and be serving. When she wants water, give her. When she wants clothes, give her. When anything she wants, give her. Serve. He served his way into becoming the school organist. He served his way. So he's currently the school organist in church. He served his way. He's not entitled to it because you are talented, and then you just go. You will crash when you get there. They just give you access. It doesn't profit you. All this from my child is talented. My child can draw. My child can really do a lot. We don't want all of that. Put up the staircase. Send the child back to the sheep. We send our son back to the place where he will tend the sheep first. You are talented. How? Sometimes you don't even know that these things are trained. Guess what? The person he was serving was the current head girl at that time. What are you talking about? Or you think that these are, see, when you do the work, God will actually put things in place, orchestrate systems that work for you. That's where the power of God comes. Did I know that the girl was going to be head girl? No. I didn't know that it was going to meet her. But God will orchestrate those systems because you are doing the work. Let me give you a very typical example. When the mother of Moses saw that this child was a good child, he started to make basket. It was her responsibility. She put the child in now. It was her responsibility. But God saved that child from drowning. That's where God comes in. That's where God comes in. The child will now end up not drowning. The weight doesn't get heavier. It changes shape. Look at the order. Early test, lion, bear, Goliath. They are physical courage tests. Dangerous but simple. Fight or don't. Fight or don't. The latter test is the cave, the army, the Hebron. They are tests of character under rational pressure. Then the harder and the far less dramatic was in the cave. That was where David met Saul, and the life of Saul was in his hands. And that was it. He has to discern the difference between opportunity and permission. He had to discern in that time. And at Absalom, he doesn't inherit a polished army. The scripture says, everybody in distress, everybody in debt, everybody discontented, gathered around him. When you finish shielding your children from the people that are discontented, for people that are in debt, for people that are in distress, how would they lead an army? God. He had to learn to lead the mess of desperate men before he ever led a nation. At Hebron, God gave him part of the promise. He was just king over Judah alone. He has to wait 7 more years before the whole promise that God actually gives him. Before the whole promise. God never promotes faster than character can carry. Never. Every run on life, on that staircase of David, got heavier. Every run came before the next promotion, never after. The lion prepared him for the bear prepared him for Goliath, the cave prepared him for the army prepared him for Hebron prepared him for Jerusalem. Nothing was random, nothing was skipped, because every throne is heavier than it looks. And the only way to find out if someone can carry it is to hand them something slightly lighter first. Watch them. The parenting question I'm leaving with you today is, are you building lion and bear courage in your child? Competition, physical confidence, winning, while you're skipping the cave and the army character, resilience, loyalty to mercy people, patience to hold on to a part of the promise without actually forcing the rest. Most parents are excellent at the first kind of weight. Almost none of us are intentional about the second. Saul was never developed either. David was trained in both. In both. Now, this is what I call the David staircase strategy. The field, hidden responsibility before public recognition. Give your children responsibility. Stop shouting, oh, the child did this one. Oh, I teach you the child did not. You take picture, you create content. That's not what you're here for. Get them into the field. The field is not video game. The field is not TikTok. The field is real field. Let them go and serve a mentor. Let them go and work in a place. The field is a field. As the name sounds, that's what it is. Let them go to a battle. The battle is the battle. Courage under pressure. It is a battle. Let them go to the cave. Character where nobody can see them. It is a cave where they are isolated, where only them can actually be responsible to themselves. The army is learning to lead imperfect people. It is part of it. These people are not the kind of people you don't choose the people you lead. What are you talking about? You don't. Hebron is living in partial fulfillment. That thing that's happening to you, you've not really seen all of it. Can your child really wait? Can your child see the Hebron? Can you really say, oh yes, this thing is not working? Sometimes parents tell me, oh, this failed. My child couldn't take it. What does that mean? You have raised somebody that is entitled. Let them learn to live in partial fulfillment. It can happen. And then let them also learn to live in Jerusalem. Influence that last. When you get to Jerusalem, can you really look at Jerusalem and know that Jerusalem actually is the place where you should be? Most parents are preparing children to defeat giants. God is preparing children to govern kingdoms. Goliath was one afternoon. The throne lasted 40 years. One battle required courage. 40 years required character. One victory made David famous. The cave, the army, the Hebron made him trustworthy. Is your child trustworthy? Now, this is the throne framework, and I'm going to quickly run through the throne framework because my time is almost up. Territory, heart, roots, observation, next season, and exchange. Short form for the throne. I love to actually create short forms. This is my framework, by the way. I love to actually create short forms so that you will be able to, look at it, right, and then be able to walk through it. You see this part of building halfway, the devil's staircase strategy. I'm going to teach it as a full class in the inner circle. It's deeper than what I've just shared. There are too many things about this devil's staircase strategy that I saw that blew my mind. I can't teach you everything. The whole curriculum. So I'm going to teach it in the inner circle, and I'm going to break it down. You see this in Fuel the Battle. I will show you the gaps in your parenting using this devil's staircase strategy. It's an amazing revelation. Amazing. All right. So let's quickly go. All right. Let's talk about the territory. So the first one is the territory. Let's talk about the heart. Power, purpose, and influence. I've talked about power, not domination over people. God-given capacity to affect outcomes, to decide, to create, to carry weight into a room. Do you know that its power is trained? I was telling my friend, I was sitting down, and they were saying they've never seen the kind of a prefect that my son had become, who walks into a space and everybody just stays quiet. Power is actually trained, and power must be trained positively, or else it will be trained negatively. It will be trained negatively. Then there's purpose, assignment underneath that capacity. Power without purpose becomes performance. Purpose gives power a direction. What's the purpose of that training of power? What's the purpose of it? And then there's influence, the reach of power, the purpose over time, the ripple life, the outcome, sending, that is starting at home and moving outward. It starts in the home. Who is your child influencing? I told my son, I said, if you leave that school without training your cousin on this part, you failed. Guess what? His cousin is right on the same path. As the cousin entered JSS1, I said, this is your trainee. If you leave without having living a piece of you, now you failed. All these things that we poured into is a failure. It's a failure. So the cousin is currently the only junior prefect as well. I said, sir, that's your project. Your project must. When we give our children projects, it mustn't fail. There are no excuses. Excuses are cheap. Those that make them are not wise. I said, you will make him get to the top. You will make him understand power. You make him understand leadership. You make him toe the same line. He will become a head boy. It is history. I'll come back here and tell you the same thing. I'll come back here and tell you how it works. Influence is not just in the things that, who are you affecting? Who are you affecting? That's my point. Do your children leave something? I told my daughter, I said, if your cousins are coming after you and they don't pick something out of you that they can leave, you failed. I failed, you failed too. It's about being able. It's about being able to actually transition that influence. It's about being able to influence people to become like you. Can the people you are raising raise people to become like them? Or even better? Or even better? Who are you affecting? Number T is territory. What are the territories? I talked about the 4 territories. Again, time won't permit it to talk about all of this. So we have family, education, culture, media, faith, and community. These are the territories. Community. I was reading something about the apostles. Acts chapter 4:23. The Bible said they returned to their own company and being let go. They went to their own company and reported all to the chief priests and the elders that said unto them. Acts chapter 4:23. Peter and John had just performed the miracle, greatest miracle in Jerusalem, and they were dragging them. Notice what? They didn't isolate. They went back to their own company. The early church understood that every assignment needs a community that can sustain it. Interestingly, they didn't really return for tempting party. They returned for strength. The community prayed, and the place was shaking, and the Bible said that their next level of boldness was born in that community. The miracle in Acts chapter 3 made them famous. The community in Acts chapter 4 kept them standing. That's why every serious parent who do not have a community like the inner circle, you will fail. It's not a curse, it is the truth. Trust me. Because parenting today is too complex to be done alone. Your child is not competing with just what it is that you know. It's not information only. You need a company. Information is everywhere. Information is everywhere. You need a place where someone has faced what you're facing. Someone can redirect you. Do you know there's something we call parenting blind spot? Even me, I have it. Do you know what the parenting blind spot? You can't see it. Nobody sees a blind spot by themselves. That's why I told inner circle parents, I said it's not of a man to lead himself. That's what the Bible said. It's not of a man. It doesn't matter your level. It's not of a man to lead himself. It's not of a man. So the inner circle is your Acts chapter 4 verse 23. Your company. When life bruises you in parenting, you come back. That's where we shout. That's where we scream. That's where we say, hey, come for us. So we are naked and we're not ashamed. We can't see you. We're not perfect. We're not looking for perfect parents. We're looking for people who sincerely want to walk through the journey. I share my failures with them every single day. Inner circle parents know most of my stories. We laugh about it. We chat about it. There are some things I will share with them now. The whole comment section will go agog because they understand it. What is that faith? Faith is actually about community. Hey, God will help me today. Faith is about community. That's why the Bible said they returned to their own company. They return to their own company. So it doesn't matter how good your parenting is. It doesn't matter how your children are perfect. I was telling somebody, I said, I noticed that even raising children who are in leadership system is actually worse than the ones who are not. Keeps you on your toes. There's family. What is your family created for? There's education. Teachers, whether you like it or not, are part of your process. There's culture and media, whether you like it or not. The media will affect what it is that you're doing today. All right. And then you have the family throne. We talked about it. The education throne, the culture throne. Time won't permit me. Of course, the community throne. A faith that is practiced is not just professed. Trusted adults must be beyond you who speak into their life. You need to belong to something bigger than your nuclear family. You need to become to a language. There's a language for identity rooted in God, not performance. Not performance. That's what you need. That's what you need. You see all this isolation from mentors, from community, they will kill your parenting. They will kill it. You avoid honest review. You avoid somebody asking you questions. It will kill you. Nobody can ask you. Nobody can ask you what you have done. Why did you do it? You can't run to anybody to say, this thing I did, is it right or wrong? You're in trouble. Real trouble. A mentorless person is a dangerous person. Very dangerous. Then there's observation. I call it the slow leak. Not the sudden break. Parents brace for the loud collapse, the scandal, the blow up, the public picture. Thrones are almost never stormed. They are vacated. One remarkable day at a time. While someone is watching for something else, a tire doesn't blow out first. It goes flat from a poncho. No one notices at first. The danger was never the crisis moment. The danger is that children are usually at their most alert in crisis. So the danger is the boring, unsupervised, the middle, where thousands of unremarkable hours are not accounted for. I tell parents in the inner circle that 2 hours mistake of your parenting can send your children to abyss. Oh, I've seen it happen all the time. It was a police officer who was sharing at a session. 1 hour of holding a phone put a child at risk. So these are the 4 quiet erosions that you must see clearly. Of course, we talked about the erosion of the quiet room and all of that. All right, let's quickly, run. The 4 legs of the throne, the root leg, that is the identity, the iron leg, that is the character, the compass leg, that is the window, the wisdom, the cord leg, that is the relationship. All right, take a screenshot. Let's move. You are a regent, you're not a replacement. A regent governs a throne on behalf of the one who will have it one day. Your job is not to occupy your child's throne forever. Protecting them from every decision and consequences is to steward it well until they are ready to reign wisely on it. That is your job. All right? So, of course, the throne is built on 4 named seasons. I won't be able to go through these named seasons, the testing season, The commissioning season. If you want to know about this season, get the parenting launch plan. Read it. All right. Study it. Create a plan. Parenting as a manual. Trust me when I say so. Parenting as a manual, and you need it. All right. So these are the tools that you need as we go. Tool number one, you need the family throne room resources and guide. The family throne room resources and guide. These are the guides and the things that you need, the resources, the curated system. There is no, you cannot parent with random knowledge. It will fail. Try it. Even if you follow all our Tuesday life every Tuesday, it will overwhelm you. I can assure you, because it's not structured. If you want to change anything in life, you pass it through a curriculum, a curated curriculum. And let me tell you the truth. Most of the curriculum is not you to create it, though. God curates every curriculum, but it's through a teaching priest. That's the difference. Yes, it's the curriculum of God. Every curriculum of a child is a blueprint of God, but it's done through a teaching priest. It's not you. A teaching priest, there's a process to it. And there's also a process to living the curriculum, living it. Number two tool is from family values to everyday decisions. There's something you do in the inner circle when you come in. The first thing you do is to actually look at family values. By the way, the offer for inner circle actually ends today. After today, you won't see it. We'll return back to the normal payment, all right? And that's it. Now, family values have to be lived. They are not just to be hung, all right? You don't just hang family values. You name a core family value, you define what it looks like, you practice it, translate. One of our core family values is leadership. I've been able to live it. My children have been able to live it. We've been able to translate it. We are still on the journey. We're still living it. My husband has been able to live it. We lead. That's who we are. And leadership is not position. It is that when we get into a space, we are ready to serve, to see that thing through. That's leadership. That's leadership. And then the 2-3 is inner circle program. Community provide perspective when you feel confused. Accountability keeps you consistent. Motivation does not do anything. I'm telling you. All these things we're sharing now is motivation. You are motivated. Fire. TI panel conference. It will fade after today if you do nothing about it. If you don't create a system that puts you in place to practice the things you've learned, you will not learn it. 40 speakers are a lot. Trust me. One of the things we're going to do in the inner circle is to look at these 40 speakers in the next 40 days. Yes, it's going to be available for you to rewatch. We will rewatch it and we'll share our learnings every day. And then you will go through it. And then you will pick something you practice. The system holds you accountable. The system holds you accountable. Wisdom helps you avoid mistakes that could cost your family years. That's what wisdom helps you do. And what we share is wisdom, not information. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. Encouragement gives you strength. Sometimes you're overwhelmed. You don't know. You just come and say, this will happen to you. Somebody says, even me yesterday, I was not, even me, I'll share my own. Inside web and all of us. We're like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. We do share the experiences. It reminds you that you're not raising your children alone. Every parent needs their own company. And there's something that we call collective wisdom in the inner circle. Did you see the people who came from inner circle to come and share? The police officer was in inner circle. Coach Tracy, Coach Leslie, Coach Ebka. It is a congregation of inner circle parents. We're all in the yard. Coach Kwemeka, the governor. We're all in the yard. We are a community. The parents who shared about her journey, Dr. Nse. We are a community of parents that are so together. We have medical doctors, consultants, name it. There's nobody that is not in the yard. We have DPOs. I had a police issue recently, and I just called one of the inner circle, parents, DPO. He said, Coach, go and sleep. You don't need to do anything when I'm there. Sleep. We have a system that works. We have a system you look for. So it's not just about learning parenting. I remember one time my father-in-law was going to have a surgery, and we were looking for a room to actually take my father-in-law in a very popular hospital in Abuja. And we didn't find. And then we've gone everywhere. I just said, let me even just go and ask in the yard. There were 6 medical doctors in less than 30 minutes. I got access to something we've looked for 2 days. What are you talking about? We are the only one outside. We have powerful people in high authority, people, GOs of big churches, name it. Because people understand in the inner circle is an equalizer. We are not there to prove anything. We are not there to prove anything. No. So when we come, we're all together. That's why you see people like, Dr. Titus, everybody's coming. We're all looking for one thing now. Is it not parenting we're all here for? Are we here to come and show who is better than the other? No. All of us came for one thing, for our parenting to be better. That's why we're all here. So there's nothing like you came, you are there, we can't see you. This parenting is an equalizer. You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You rise to the level of your environment. I need you to screenshot this quote and put it somewhere. You don't rise to the level of your intentions. You rise to the level of your environment. If you surround yourself with parents who are intentional, growing, accountable, and pursuing God's design for their families, your parenting will rise to that level. If you parent in isolation, you eventually parent from exhaustion. I've seen parents who join the couples conclave which my husband runs, and I see their marriages take a turn. Why? Just by watching what happens in that company. It is company by company. That's why the devil goes in cohorts. It is blood for blood, influence for influence, cohort for cohort. AKA Kochebuka. That's why we have cohorts. TIP cohort 1A, cohort. That cohort is cohort. Call it anything. Somebody said this TIP now second is cohort. It's cohort. Cohort for cohort. Cohort for cohort. Influence for blood. Blood for blood, man. So book your slot now. Book your slot now. Do not live in isolation. Come in and come and have your way. And finally, this will be my last slide. Common pitfalls for when many parents fall into. Outsourcing. Don't outsource your parent. Over options. Don't give too many options. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes there are some non-negotiables our children have. There are no options on it. Or guys, one way. Only one way road here. After all, the way to heaven is narrow. Very narrow. Narrow and very narrow and very, tiny. Overprotection. Stop overprotecting. Fathers, rise. That's why mothers are overparenting. Fathers are absent. Stop being absent, please, sir. You are making us overprotect. We don't have a choice. Overproviding. Some of us provide. Whether they want your children eat. Sometimes I see the food your children are taking to school. I'm wondering, what is it? You are just gradually raising a gluten. You are training your child to just eat everything. Over promoting. Hey, my child is my child. Over promoting is a thing. Overlooking. Let me just look. The child is small. The child does not know anything. You overlook everything that the child does. Overstaying. Your child is 20. Child has finished school. 26 is in your house eating food. Why? Overstaying. Your child is 18. They can't drive. Why? I've never been able to wrap my head around it. What are you afraid of? Your children overstay. They overstay your house. Stop it. Stop raising overstayed children. Stop feeding them. Actually, let them go and live under the bridge. Overvaluing outcome. I really have this. My parenting is now this. My parenting is now that. You will, according to Inner parents, parenting success requires maintenance. If you don't maintain it, that's your outcome you think you have will swallow you up. So screenshot this so that you know when you're falling into it. It's a common pitfall. All right. Build your throne now, not later. So this is my last 3 B's. Belong, buy, and become. Belong, buy, and become. Join a community of intentional parents. You cannot build a kingdom in isolation. Belong. 2, buy a library before it turns your system turns to a mortuary. Anyone without a library is a mortuary. Yes. Build a library in your home. How do you build a home without a library? Let there be collection of books. Put yourself into a system where you read. If you're not reading, you're not learning, you're dying. Number 3, become. Become the parent that your child needs. Children rise to the level of the parent who keeps growing. That's how children rise. So remember, belong, buy, and become. Don't just guard the throne. Hand it to them ready. Hand it to them ready. This is very important. Remember the scripture I shared with you earlier, Acts chapter 3, verse 12. And when the men saw, they answered unto the people, ye men of Israel, why marvel yet at this? Why you look and all of the, they were so shocked. Peter was the one answering. When the lame came to be healed, the crowd was marveled. Peter was not. The miracle that shocked the crowd did not surprise Peter because he knew that what he had deposited within him. 3 years with Jesus, days of waiting in prayer, in feeling and doing things right, filling himself with the Holy Spirit, prepared him for that moment. So he was not shocked. Never get to a point where you are shocked in your parenting. What's shocking you? Prepare. That's what preparation does. Get books, read, join the community, and finally, thank you. The throne is truly and actually really in your hands. I want to say very thank you to every single one of you and everybody who has been here for the beginning of the TIP annual conference. It's been an amazing, amazing time to actually be here. Thank you so much again to my moderators. Over to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Oh
you so
my
very much.
goodness. Are you still in this stream?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Coach, for the final blessing. What a wonderful year it's been in this year's parents conference. I'm taking home the final point. You have said so much, but I think the summary is for you to belong, for you to buy, and then become. I mean, that's the summary, because if we don't become what we have been preaching, it's a waste of time. So I want to really thank you from the depth of my heart and on behalf of all the parents and all the participants in this year's conference, 40 speakers. I mean, and this is for free, really, it's for free. All right, so thanks so much. I want to use this opportunity to invite all the parents to join the ARC, join the inner circle. Coach, I guess the discount is still on. So the 10% discount is on. If you join tonight, you're going to get the discount. So if you are a single parent, you join, instead of 140,000, you're going to pay 126. And for couple, instead of 240, you're going to pay 216,000. So the opportunity is yours. Empress, what are your feelings before we close tonight?
Excited, overpumped, but hey, you have to give our coach her flowers, the fire emojis as we do it. We have shared already that motivation is very, very short spanned. You will not need to leave this conference without a system, without plugging in to what will keep you truly rooted and transformed. If paying in full isn't convenient at the moment, you can simply pay the booking fee to secure your 10% discount and spread the remaining balance until November 1st, 2026. Please remember, this 10% discount is only valid during this conference, which is ending with this session. This very beautiful offer has a shelf life. Just like motivation, you need to move past inspiration, move past motivation, and commit to transformation. Your children deserve parents who are continually growing, learning, and applying the right principles. So, hey, to register or make your payment, contact us with the contact on the screen right now, and our team is ready to help you get started. Take advantage of this advantage before it closes. Thank you so much, Queen Coach, Queen Mother. Everything beautiful has flown from you to us. Yeah, the titles, let's hear from you.
All right, thank you very much. So before we wrap up tonight, Coach, what is your final word for us?
I want to say a big thank you to everybody, your time, everything that you have done. I want to say shout out to my team that you never see. And I'm sure that at this time you might not know that my team, some of us have not slept in days. Some of us are just going to be sleeping for the first time after tonight. Some of us have not gone home in 7 days. My team have been in the guest house of the office for 7 days. Some of them they've received all manner of basbos. You don't want to think about it. But they've done the job diligently. Immediately we're done with the basbos, we are moving to the next thing and we're laughing about it the next time. I want to say thank you to all of you. And I want to say God bless you. God bless you for seeing through this 9th annual conference. I am particularly excited, and I want to say shout out to Yadas. Shout out to Yadas for reaching out, for hailing, for being there, for doing everything. If Yadas will come and say, Coach, I know I sent you this, I sent you that. I'm like, what is going on? You guys are the real people. And shout out to my husband. Of course, he makes it easy. Of course, it's very easy for me to actually do a lot of this. I don't have to do anything really. So I just need to just pop. All right. And it gets there's a lot of power that comes from there. Shout out to the faculty members. They've pushed, they've done, some of them are on a trip, they are everywhere all over the country, and yet they are showing up on a daily basis. I want to say thank you to our moderators, to our volunteers, to everybody, to all the Yada brothers. Shout out to you guys. Dr. Titus, thank you so much. See you, Dr. Titus, in October, yeah? Yes, that's October. All right. But see you. It's been so awesome. And this is me announcing the TIP Annual Conference 2027. Date, 19th July to the 25th of July. Mark your calendar. Stay here because we are bringing you the 10th annual conference. It is 50 speakers for 10 years. Wow. You don't want to miss it. We're ready for you. Are you sure you're ready for us? We go nowhere. TIP will be doing 10 years, doing conference back to back. No miss. And we're going to be celebrating it in a loud way. Thank you again, and congratulations to all of us. See you again right at TIP Annual Conference next year, and see you in the yard. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you in the yard. That is the message. So if you are not in the yard, please get in right away. God bless you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. See you in 2027. All right.
Looking for a parenting accountability system? Search no more. The Inner Circle program is created just for you. The Inner Circle is a one-year accountability program structured to help parents parent with intentionality and purpose and not do it without structure. Do you know parenting comes with a manual? The Inner Circle is that manual that you need. And guess what? You have an amazing 10% offer for being an attendee of the TIP Annual Conference 2026. Instead of 140,000 for the single slot, you get to pay 126,000 naira, and you can secure your slot with 20,000 naira booking fee. For couple slot, instead of paying 240,000, you get to pay 216,000 naira, and you can secure your slot with 40,000 naira. The good thing about securing your slot is when you pay this booking fee, you can spread your payment up until the 1st of November 2026. It gives you the avenue to enjoy your discount. You don't want to miss out on this discount. Register now.
Every word you speak, every value you plant, every child you raise is shaping who will lead tomorrow. The throne is in your hands. The future is in your care. You are raising more than children. You are raising those who will lead. Power in their hands, purpose in their hearts, influence in their voice. The throne is in your hands. The throne is in your hands. Raise with vision, build with intention. The throne is in your hands. 40 speakers, one assignment, 7 days of transformation. July 20th to 26th, 2026. We are raising the next system of power, purpose, and influence. The Intentional Parent Annual Conference 2026. Registration is free. Bring your spouse. Bring your spouse. Bring your friends. Bring your friends. Come understand the assignment. Raise the future. Be there. The throne is in your hands. The throne is in your hands.
In your home, there is a throne. Every word you speak, every value you plant, every child you raise is shaping who will lead tomorrow. The throne is in your hands. The future is in your care. You are raising more than children. You are raising those who will lead.
Power in their hands.
Hey, purpose in their hearts. Hey.
Influence in their voice.
Oh,
The throne is in your hands.
the throne is in your hands.
Raised with vision.
We'll build with intention.
The throne is in your hands.
Oh, 40 speakers. One assignment. 7 days of transformation. July 20th to 26th.
2026.
We are raising the next system of power, purpose, and influence. The Intentional Parent Annual Conference 2026. Registration is free. Bring your spouse. Bring your friends. Come understand the assignment. Raise the future. Be there. Be there!
The throne is in your hands.
The throne is in your hands. Before they stand before the world, they first stand before you. Before they carry influence, they first carry your words. Parent, what you hold is more than a child. You hold tomorrow.
Little hands will one day build. Little voices will command. Little feet will walk through doors we may never live to see.
Every truth we plan today,
Every path we help them find is preparing them to carry what tomorrow will require.
so we will see beyond this moment. We will look beyond today.
There are nations in their future. There are lives along their way.
There is a throne in your hands.
There is a future to prepare.
Heaven has trusted you with treasure. Handle it with wisdom. them to know who they are. Raise them to know why they came.
Raise them with courage and conviction.
Raise them to carry his name. We are not preparing children just to make it through the years. We are building men and women who will lead beyond their fears.
They will sit in rooms of power. They will stand where choices turn. May the truth we place within them be the compass that they learn.
One day, the hands you hold will hold
Responsibility.
One day, the voice you guide
Will speak when nations listen.
One day,
The child you lead will lead others.
so build with vision,
Speak with purpose.
love with wisdom.
The future is listening.
There is a throne in your hands.
There is a future to prepare.
Heaven has trusted you with treasure.
Handle it with wisdom. Handle it with care.
There is a throne in your hands.
And generations are at stake.
What you build within them now
Will live beyond the life you make.
raise the thinkers, raise the builders, raise the voices that will stand. Raise with wisdom, raise with vision.
The throne is in your hands.
What you hold today will shape tomorrow.
The throne is in your
In your home, there is a throne. Every word you speak, every value you plant, every child you raise is shaping who will lead tomorrow.
The throne is in your hands. The future is in your care. You are raising more than children. You are raising those who will lead.
power in their hands.
Hey, purpose in their hearts. Hey.
Influence in their voice.
Oh,
The throne is in your hands.
the throne is in your hands.
Raised with vision.
We'll build with intention.
The throne is in your hands.
Oh, 40 speakers. One assignment. 7 days of transformation. July 20th to 26th.
2026.
We are raising the next system of power, purpose, and influence. The Intentional Parent Annual Conference 2026. Registration is free. Bring your spouse. Bring your friends. Come understand the assignment. Raise the future. Be there.
Be there.
The throne is in your hands.
The throne is in your hands.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
TIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?